Oh, there she is. There she is. Why did she make that look hot?
We take it higher. Watch the fence, we tear them apart. You step out of line, we hit you hard. I think they run the show. Push your power where they shouldn't go. We call them out, no match to save. Respect the law or take your own play. We like what we think, we speak the truth. Chase it down, we bring the proof. React, draw, no feel to hear. Beer and whiskey, we shift the gears. Chase the beer, chase the flame. We react, we bring the name. Cops don't run, they bring the light. It's all the crime. Shots fired, drink it down. We bring justice to your town. Beer, whiskey, no disguise. We react, we bring the name. Cops don't run.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 18th episode. 18
Hard to believe we haven't lost our channel yet.
It's hard to believe we ain't in jail yet. But the night is young. I am with you. This is my co-host, Pierce. Two blue collar. Oh wait, YouTube says we can't swear in the first 20 minutes. Assholes. Who got plenty of opinions. And this week, we've got a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a week. Oh, it's been a week. I think primarily tonight we're just going to concentrate on the little Zelensky deal. We might stream snipe a truck driver later because, well, sounds like fun. But been a good week.
Yeah.
Anybody got a story for you? Yeah. Hey, Danny T, nice to see you. Oh man, I tell you, it's been a hard week. I've been hustling this week.
Yeah, you have.
Hustling. Actually, I was over just a few days ago. I was in Connecticut, then down to Tennessee, and now I'm all the way up in Montana. I'll be in Washington Tuesday.
Yeah.
Moving and grooving. Taking them rich boy toys. So,
you know.
You know. There's this week, it was going to be a nice little meeting in the White House. Sit down, make a deal, give somebody an opportunity to, live another day. That didn't go so well.
No. And there's some things popping off today that are kind of disturbing, but we'll probably get into that next week. Probably.
Probably. So we're gonna go through the press conference, the rumble at the White House. There have been quite a few things I've read about that, though. A translator broke down the things Zelensky was saying under his breath, and it's pretty much confirmed that probably what set Vance off the most was Zelensky under his breath using the Ukrainian word for bitch.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. And I know you've been in it. I've been in battles this week. I wouldn't say battles. It's been fairly civil discourse with people like, oh my God, he's such an embarrassment to this country. Poor Zelensky. And I'm like, Zelensky started that crap. The deal was already made. Go ahead.
We're basically gonna go through the whole thing. It's 50 minutes long, the whole press conference with Zelensky. And the only place you really see it is C-SPAN. Every place else you look on social media is just little clips of them getting what they want out of it.
Yeah. We'll pause throughout. We'll add in some conjecture. But I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some people in here that don't like what we have to say.
Yeah, I'm
like
sure.
Matty B, because Matty B's a diehard Democrat, so he's not going to like any of this. So Let's get to it.
Okay. Ah,
And action.
yeah.
Always prepared.
Why
Always
is it when
prepared.
why does it start when I click the wrong thing in StreamYard, not
Well, that's just Lindsey Graham afterwards.
Oh, yep, I clicked the wrong one again.
This is why we're professional streamers.
Yeah.
Maddie, I got Maddie upset. Yeah, Jessica, but did you notice? It's not me boomering it this time. I don't know. Somebody's going to give you a whole lot of hell later.
Yeah. I
All
get
right,
hell
here we
anyway
go.
from that direction.
Of Ukraine, and we've been working very hard, very close. So we've actually known each other for a long time. We've been dealing with each other for a long time and very well. We had a little negotiation spat, but that worked out great. I think for both countries, I think for the world, actually, beyond both countries.
Thanks for the
And we have something
sub,
that
Danny T.
is a very fair deal. And we look forward to getting in and digging and working and getting some of the rare earth. But it means we're going to be inside, and it's a big commitment from the United States, and we appreciate working with you very much. And we will continue to do that. We have had some very good discussions with Russia. I spoke with President Putin, and we're going to try and bring this to a close. It's something that you want and that he wants. We have to negotiate a deal, but we've started the confines of a deal, and I think something can happen. The big thing is the number of soldiers, mostly at this point, but soldiers being killed. You're losing thousands of soldiers. So on both sides, we're losing a lot of soldiers, and we want to see it stop. And we want to see the money get put to different kinds of use, like rebuilding.
Yeah, we want to stop
rebuilding.
sending you billions of
Yeah.
dollars.
Very hard, but we've had a lot of very good conversations. I will say until we came
exactly.
along, the Biden administration didn't speak to Russia whatsoever. They didn't speak to anybody. They just allowed this.
No,
to
now pause
continue.
it for a second, because that's something
And,
important to
I
point
was-
out. Biden hadn't been talking to Putin. And he bragged about the fact that he hadn't talked to Putin. And we'd only been funneling money to Zelensky left and right. So instead of finding a way to diplomatically end this, it was just, oh, no, we got to fight Russia. We're going to send all the money to fight Russia. We're not going to put boots on the ground, which I don't think we should put boots on the ground. I think
No,
the
we
last
shouldn't.
thing we need to do is put boots on the ground. But there was no conversation between the two. And I think they were absolutely using this to funnel money. And if you look at what's been found with USAID and everything else, I think a ton of that money ended up in hands that it shouldn't have. And I'll argue that into the grave. I thoroughly believe that money is getting distributed other places. But Trump's actually going to diplomatically, and so many people have screamed, oh, Trump's not talking to Zelensky. He never talked to Zelensky. He just said, I've had multiple conversations with you. Is Zelensky sitting there nodding his head? Yep, sure have. Because he's gone to both sides. And so many people look at the microscopic thing of, oh, he just wants minimal rights. There's so much more to that. And you have to understand foreign diplomacy. That mineral rights deal gives protection in and of itself because it opens up an avenue for the U.S. to say, we have an investment in your country. He can go to Putin and go, listen, we're invested in the future of Ukraine to a peaceful end because the war can't continue because we are invested with this country. It changes the playing field. And let's face it, Ukraine is not going to go back to its original borders. It's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
There's
regions that don't want to go back.
Yeah.
Don't want to be part of Ukraine anymore.
What, Donbass?
So,
they want to be Russia.
Yeah.
And find me a war in history where the loser got to keep all of their borders. There isn't.
No.
Even Germany lost borders. You know?
Well, it's split up. It's literally
Yeah.
split in half.
Yeah, well, literally.
Japan,
Although,
but they're an island. But
well, yeah,
well,
they still lost a lot of the outer islands, though. Because
yeah,
they
they
had
did.
lost territory that they gained during the war. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Say that I'll say in front of you, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. If I were president, this war would have never happened. We would have had a deal negotiated for you without having to go through what you've gone through. But your soldiers have been unbelievably brave. We've given them great equipment, but somebody has to use the equipment. They've been unbelievably brave, and we give them great credit. This was supposed to be over very quickly, and here we are 3 years later. So I give tremendous credit to your generals and your soldiers
That's the
and
thing.
yourself.
Ukraine would not have lasted this long
it's been
without the
very
U.S.
hard
money and
fighting, very
armaments
tough
and the
fighting,
Europeans'
great
money and
fighters.
armaments.
And you have to be very proud of them from that standpoint.
Absolutely.
And now we want to get it over with.
Hey, AG.
It's enough, right? We want to get it over with. So it's an honor to have you here. Thank you very much for coming. We're going to sign the agreement at the conference in the East Room in a little while, right after lunch. And we'll be having lunch together. We're also discussing some other things. And we appreciate everybody being here. It's somewhat of an exciting moment, but the really exciting moment is when they stop the shooting and we end up with a deal. And I think we're fairly close to getting that, and an honor to have you. And please, I'd like to say something.
No, thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you for invitation. And really, I hope that this first document will be first step to real security guarantees for Ukraine, our people, our children. I really count on it. And of course, we count that
Okay, go ahead, boss.
America will not stop support. Really, for us, it's very important to support and to continue it. I want to discuss it
Are you
in
there?
details further.
Yeah, I'm here.
Conversation.
Can you pause?
And
Pause it.
of course, the infrastructure or security guarantee.
So Zelensky said there, I hope this is the first step towards security. And that's what it is. It's the first step.
Yep.
And you and I have discussed this. You
Mhm.
can't put into this mineral agreement, oh, if you sign over these minerals to us, we broke whatever the mineral deal is. Nobody knows exactly what it is. A lot of people
No.
are hypothesizing, but nobody actually knows. My
Most-
best guess. Go ahead.
Could be land. It could be straight up mineral rights where you just own the minerals underneath, or it could be a preferred trade partner where we get a good deal and first bid.
That's what I think. I think it's we get a good deal and first to the mineral rights. And these are rare earth minerals. We need these. One thing that's always held the U.S. back in the tech manufacturing industry
Mhm.
is rare earth minerals because they're so hard to get. And it takes so much mining to do it. If they try to do this rare earth mining here in the U.S., the libs would freak out if they saw the mess it causes.
Yeah, and we don't have huge deposits like they do over there.
No. Shoot, somebody just recently found one of the salt mines up toward Utah area. They
Yeah.
thought it was some secret government installation because they saw the blue-colored lake. And that thing ran all over the internet for days, and people like, that's literally salt manufacturing. But why
Yeah.
are there pools of it? Because that's how they get the salt out of the water.
Yeah.
Hey, geez, like I want the minerals and the grain. Yeah, because they are one of the world's biggest producers of grain.
Yeah.
Well, they were.
Well, I mean, during the Stalinist period when they were having the city folk going, the farmers are hoarding the food, and all that back and forth during Stalin's regime, that's when where it all is that's where the farms was the Ukraine area. That's
Yep.
where people just got plowed over. That's millions of deaths there.
Yeah. It's the first step. Zelensky said it himself, so he knew it was the first step. So, all right.
Is because for today, I understand what Europe is ready to do, And of course, I want to discuss with you what United States will be ready to do. And I really count on your strong position to stop Putin. And you said that enough with the war. I think that is very important, Ben, to say these words to Putin at the very beginning of war, because he is a killer and terrorist. But I hope that together we can stop him. But for us, it's very important to, to save our country, our values, our freedom and democracy, and of course,
Democracy.
no compromises.
Hey, Beard, you got
with,
something to say
our
about the
terror.
democracy of Ukraine?
He's not. He's no longer the elected president. He refuses to have elections. He's by definition a despotic dictator.
He banned
He's
every
shutting
TV
down. Yeah, he's shutting down opposition parties, like banning them outright, like Germany has done to the Nazi Party. Uh, it's
He's banned every station that was
Yeah.
opposition. He's taken
Yeah.
over the main TV station, and
Mhm.
he blocked the election. So
Yeah.
He's no different than Putin, who every time someone runs against him, they either end up in jail or dead.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God, Putin and Hillary, they're the same people. Oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry, Hillary.
I didn't mean nothing by it. Sorry. I'm
Now
not
you know why I
suicidal.
why I had to move locations every day. Oh, all right.
Terrorists, but it will be later. And of course, what I wanted, we spoke about it by phone with you about the drones production. We have very good drones production. I think the best one in the world for today because of the war. Yes, and of course, we need very much the air defense. You have the best air defense in the world, and really, you helped us under attacks of Russians. And I want to speak how we can exchange the licenses. We're open to share the licenses of all our drones with you, of course, with the United States.
Now that right there
License
is where I
with
started to
Russia.
realize watching this that this wasn't about ending the war. Because
No,
all that was right there was him wanting weapons. And I went, oh,
Yeah.
this guy doesn't want peace. He wants minerals in exchange for more weapons. Because they'll never be able to pay the world back for the money that's been invested in them. And
No.
why we invested the money in them was just to avoid getting into World War III, because NATO or US put troops on the ground in Russia, it changes the playing field dramatically.
Yeah.
So yeah, right there, he's making it clear that he wants weapons in exchange for minerals, and that's not the deal.
Mhm. No. Yeah, that U.S. economic interest gives us a reason to go in if need be.
Yep.
Gives us a reason to go in and negotiate.
Of air defense. Even after the war, we need our nation to be calm, that we are secure. So that's why we need this air shield. And of course, about this, I want to speak about the contingents. I think that France and UK already spoke to you, and we know that Europe is ready, but without the United States, they will not be ready to be as strong as we need. And then the last point, last not least, about exchange, about our people and children. And you know that this crazy Russian that they stolen.
No, T-Rex, we
20,000
forgave that loan then.
Ukrainian children.
They
They changed.
Yeah.
didn't never paid it back.
They changed.
Oops,
their
highlighted it,
families,
didn't show it.
relatives, and now
Yep,
they
that
are
was
Russian.
forgiven.
We want to bring them back, and really, it's a big dream, task, and goal for me. And our world.
I'd forgotten about the Great Reset button.
We brought.
I'd forgotten that.
Warriors from Russian prison, but there are thousands more in the prison. I wanted to share with you some images. How it's.
Hey, Dolly.
Just,
Good to see you. Can Ukrainian men identify as a woman? Well, beers does, so I guess they can.
uh, no, there was actually that happening right at the beginning of the war where they were trying to. Is they're letting all the women leave and not letting the men leave, which they're still doing to this day. That
Yeah.
transvestites weren't allowed to leave.
Can I now?
Yeah,
Have I?
please.
Some minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Just you to understand in what circumstances, in what situation they are, and what the attitude of Russia to our prisoners. That guys, just you before and after.
Mm.
And you see before and after.
Yeah, we know, buddy, because we're getting people back from Gaza that are in horrible condition.
And
Yep.
so they don't eat.
This is
they
called
beat
war.
them and they,
Yeah.
do a lot of bad things. So out of even during the war, there are rules. Everybody.
You see,
knows
this is
there are
fueling him
rules
for
during the war.
retribution,
Okay.
not peace.
Well, and also he's talking about laws of war.
Yeah.
There are so many videos out of Russian soldiers surrendering to drones and them just dropping ordnance on them anyway.
No.
I mean,
It is.
that's a war crime in itself.
Oh.
So, I mean, no, neither side's clean here.
No, not at all. But this is, you see where I was like early in this, I was like, oh, this isn't about peace.
No, it's
He
not.
wants to fight.
These guys, they don't have any rules. You see that 50, 60 kilograms left and a lot of such things. And I didn't want to show you what the changes with images of children because I will share with you. And, I mean,
But I want to make sure to show you these images in front of the press.
That's tough stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted very much to give you. You see,
Yeah.
this is pastor, by the way. They stolen pastors because it's not Russian church. They stolen pastors and moved pastors to the prison. We at the end of last year we brought 3 pastors. And, we could exchange them. And this is pastor, you see.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So I mean, this I wanted to show you and this. So thank you very much.
We want to get that ended, right?
Yeah, of course we
And
want.
I think we will. And
We have to, of course.
do you have any questions, please?
Thank you, Mr. President. With the how much money is the U.S. going to put into the fund that is being created today, and how does this provide long-term security for Ukraine?
Well, we don't know exactly how much because we're going to be putting some money in a fund that we're going to get from the raw earth that we're going to be taking and sharing in terms of revenue. So it's going to be a lot of money will be made from the sale and from the use of raw earth. And as you know, our country doesn't have much raw earth. We have a lot of oil
Rare.
and gas, but we don't have a lot of the raw earth. And what we do have is protected by the environmentalists, but that can be unprotected, but still it's not very much. They have among the best in the world in terms of raw earth. So we're going to be using that, using it for all of the things we do, including AI and including weapons and the military. And it's really going to very much satisfy our needs. So something that just worked out really well. We have a lot of oil and we have a lot of gas. We have a lot, but we don't have raw earth. So this has just about every component of the raw earth that we need for computers, for all of the things we do.
And
This puts us in great shape.
And on long-term security for Ukraine. How does this provide?
I think they're going to have great luck. I think once we make the agreement, that's going to be 95% of it. They're not going to go back to fighting. I've spoken with President Putin, and I feel very strong. I've known him for a long time, and I feel very strongly that they're very serious about it, and we'll make a deal. And when the deal is made, I don't think we talk about security. Everyone's talking about the other day. All they talked about was security. I said, let me make the deal first. I have to make the deal first. I don't worry about security right now.
And this is where he's leading into, we can't directly give security for mineral rights. We can't
No.
do that directly because that would be a
And
war
why is
pact.
that? Exactly. That would be a war pact, which is an act of
Yeah.
aggression, which
Yep.
would require to be sanctioned by NATO. And
Mhm.
that's one thing people don't realize. It's a chess match. It's like, okay, we've got mineral rights. Then he can go back to Putin and go, listen, we're invested. This is something we need to protect. Let's end this war. He gets Zelensky to compromise. He's got to compromise. He's got to understand he's not getting
Yeah.
it all
Well,
back.
I thought right after the inauguration that he put out a video tweet that was something about we're ready to concede some land, but
Zelensky?
that all disappeared. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive. I don't have it pulled up or anything.
I want to say you're right, but I can't remember laying my eyes on it. But it sounds like something I read.
Yeah.
But the other thing is Trump, as much as his haters love to try and go with Russian conspiracy because the left loves that crap. When you negotiate with somebody, you can't trash them. Because if you have a hate relationship, then you're never going to go anywhere to negotiation.
Yeah.
And he can personally not agree with things Trump does. And there's some people who I've dealt with over the years in business where they're shrewd. They're shrewd businessmen. They're
Mhm.
dirty, rotten scoundrels. But on a personal level, they're likable people. You can get along with them. But I think Trump's got that relationship where, and he said in that interview he did after all this went down that day about, I could talk trash about Putin all day long, but what would it solve? Then
Nothing.
I'm trying to negotiate with somebody who I've, talked down to. It looks like, Marcone or Marcon or Macaroni, whatever the hell that idiot.
Oh, Marcone. Yeah.
Marcone. Yeah, that fucking idiot. When he tried to, negotiate that ceasefire before. Prior to going over there, he was talking trash on Russia. Russia's a bunch of animals. Russia's this, Russia's that. And then he goes over there, I'm here to broker peace. Putin looks at him and goes, I don't like you. Get the hell out.
Yeah. 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 Go talk shit about your car salesman and then go try to make a deal with him.
Yeah.
It's not going to go well for you.
Exactly. You don't have to like them. You just have to get along.
Yep.
Wait, Maddie's looking
have
for
a
huge
deal, 'cause
deposits of
right now,
pee?
Last week, 2,000
Jesus,
soldiers,
Maddie,
both
this is a
sides.
family channel.
2,000, and they're losing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a week. So as we sit here and we talk, people are getting shot and dying on the battlefield. And they're not American soldiers, but
Man, I'm doing
Russian
Maddie dirty
soldiers and
tonight.
the Ukrainian soldiers. And we want to be able to.
Well, and they're conscripts for the most part. Even the Russians.
Yeah.
Both sides are using massive
Shoot.
amounts of conscripts.
Kim Jong fat ass fucking sent North Korean soldiers over, and they're defecting because they don't know what they're doing. They're being given orders in Russian. They don't speak Russian, and they're being sent to the front lines. And they're like, "Fuck this shit."
Yep.
Stop it. And we want to be
Whatever
able
you
also
say,
to
Maddie, we
spend
believe
money
you.
on other things. We don't want to. This is a tremendous amount of money, and what the Biden administration did was terrible. They were giving money, but he had no security on the money. Europe, as you know, gave much less money, but they had security. It was in the form of a loan. They get their money back, and we didn't. And now, at least we're protected because the American taxpayer has to be protected too. But this is an incredible agreement for Ukraine because we have a big investment in their country now, and what they have, very few people have.
Billions.
And we're able to really go forward with very, very high-tech things and many other things, including weaponry that we're going to use in many locations, but that we need for our country. This allows us to do this.
I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead, please.
If I can just Yes. In the document, there is one of the very important points. If we speak about business and investment, we never had LNG terminals in Ukraine. This document will open. I mean, the next document, but anyway, here we see in the framework, we see a really goodwill for this. LNG terminals for us is very important, and I think for security of European continent. We have the biggest storage, gas storage. We have the biggest in Europe. Yes, and we can use it. Use it for LNG, use it for LNG, and we will do it. And really, we can help Europe because Europe really helped. President Trump said that they made less support, but they are our friends and they are our very supportive partners. They really gave a lot, Mr. President. They did.
They gave a lot, but they gave much less.
No,
Much less.
no, no.
Don't argue with me.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. President Trump, you have repeatedly called the deal with Ukraine as a historical one. And as a president of the United States, you make historical decisions in other issues which affect America and other world. So what place in the world history do you want to take? And do you associate yourself with any famous historical figures?
Yeah, I'd say George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I would say I'm far superior to George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. You know I'm only kidding, right?
Good old Trump, man.
Say
He loves to
that,
put
fake
himself in
news
that
is gonna go
pedestal.
wild. They're going to say he
Yeah.
considers himself to be better.
That
than
is one thing
Washington.
I wish he
You
would
never know.
stop.
You never know.
Yeah.
I don't compare myself to anybody. I'm here to do a job. We've had a great 35 days or whatever it might be, a month, a little more than a month. We've accomplished tremendous amounts. Not only this would be a very great achievement if we could get the war stopped and get them back to normalization. I think that's going to happen. We've had very good talks on both sides, as you know, but I think we've done a very good job. Just generally, if you look at all of the things we've done in 30 days, they're saying there's never been a opening for a president. The first month, there's never been a first month like we've had. And this is one of the very important things. This to me is one of the most important things because we have tremendous death taking place as we speak. And I don't want to have that. Think of the parents, whether they're in Russia or Ukraine, think of the parents of all these people being killed needlessly.
They came to our territory.
Should have never started. If I were president, this would have never started.
That's you all.
Sending military aid to Ukraine after the U.S. signs this agreement with Ukraine.
Yeah, we're going to be
Question to
continuing.
President Zelensky: do you feel like the U.S. is on your side? That President Trump is on your side at this moment?
Okay, hold on.
What do you
Pause that.
think?
So that particular reporter right there is from a Russian press.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of people screaming, "Oh my God, Trump allowed a Russian, press in that Oval Office for this meeting." And I had to die laughing because I says the person who pointed this out was just outraged over it. I said, if he had kicked them out, you would have said he was trying to hinder freedom of speech. I was like, you can't have it both ways. I was like, he brought him in. But this is where things start getting a little bit more attention. You gonna hit play?
He wants to know, do you think that, sort of a stupid question. I guess we wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
I think that the United States on our side from the very beginning of occupation, and I think that President Trump on our side, and of course, I'm sure that United States President will not stop support. This is crucial for us. It's important for us. Yes. And Putin, the president speaks about the people and the soldiers which are dying, but they came to our territory, they came to our land. They began this war, and they have to stop. And I think this is the question, with really the most important question. can President Trump, I hope yes, with some other allies to stop Putin, withdraw these enemies, our enemy, withdraw these troops from our land. And
Yep.
I
See,
think
there you got
that
it right
you
there.
asked about the history.
He's not
I
willing
think
to
that if
compromise. He wants
President Trump
Russia
will
out.
win,
That's it.
he will stop Putin.
It's just
If
not going to happen.
President Trump will bring peace to our country, I think he will be on this wall. I think.
We've had very, very good talks.
What about military aid to Ukraine?
President Zelensky just said that there will be no compromises with Vladimir Putin. I just wanted to ask both of you. Firstly, are there compromises that you think that President Zelensky is going to have to make? And President Zelensky, is there anything that you might be thinking that you may be able to offer or bring to the table? For example, election. Thank you.
I think you're going to have to always make compromises. You can't do any deals without compromises. So certainly
Hey,
you're going to have to make some compromises.
Tasha says, I think this is
Hopefully
the
they
only
won't
way that
be-
Russia was ever heard by
Some
Z.
people think you're going to have to make. That's all. That's all we can do. I'm here as an
Yeah.
arbitrator, as a mediator to a
Oh,
certain extent.
wrong button.
Two parties that have been very hostile, to put it mildly. They've been very hostile. There's been a vicious war. There's been a vicious war. You know, it's a very level battlefield, and those bullets go out. And as I've said many times, we were talking about it with Pete. Many times, the only thing stopping those bullets is a human body. And in the case we're talking about,
Go ahead,
generally
hit
young
pause.
human bodies are stopping a lot of bullets. It's
Maddie makes the point that I have been screaming for days. Trump knows that either Zelensky compromises or this doesn't end.
Yeah.
Because if we put troops on the ground, and there is rumor, we tried to find it before the show, we couldn't find an absolute confirmation, but there is rumor that European troops are going to pull boots on the ground.
Yeah,
And if they do,
I saw a tweet from Alex Jones, and I'm not betting against Alex Jones. That
unless it's goal shooting.
that EU is preparing to put boots on the ground in Ukraine.
Yeah. And North Korea is going to immediately ally with Russia. They already have allied, but they're going to ally heavier. North Korea has nothing to offer but nukes. Russia can't withstand a war. They're already hurt. So their fallback is nukes.
Yeah.
China, I don't think China would join Russia. I think China would wait until we're all distracted and jump on Taiwan.
Yeah, but if nukes start flying, what use is Taiwan? Because there's not going to be any economy. I mean, if they're not even involved, everything's just they're destroyed too, economically.
Scott, foreign troops entering that theater is not part of a peacekeeping deal. I know that people want to think of it that way, but that's not what Zelensky wants. And Zelensky's made it clear in interviews he's done afterwards. He wants retaliation. He wants retribution. He wants Putin beat back across the original Ukrainian borders, and that's all he wants. And it's just not realistic. It's just not how war works. You know, the spoils to the victor, the victor to the spoils go to the victor. And Russia's winning this. I don't buy the propaganda. Ukraine has lost a lot of territory, and they can't gain it back. Yeah, Canadian troops. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Canadian troops. I've got some experience.
All 600 of them?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And the thing is if they end up, what are they going to do? Form a human line around Ukrainian troops going, you can't shoot anymore else? I don't see it. And if the moment they get hurt, they're going to have to retaliate, and then boom, you've got World War III.
And we don't need another DMZ like there is between North and South Korea, which kind of looks like it may happen.
I think that's probably very, very possible. Very, very possible.
Yeah.
The syrup gang. Oh, jeez. The Maple Leafs go marching one by one. Hurrah, hurrah.
Stop, or I'll say stop again.
Yeah, that's. Whoops. He was quick on the fingers. He's right. All right, go ahead.
Dead level. That's why it's great farmland. It's great land. It's great farmland, but there's very little protection against the bullets that are being and other things that are being shot. So all I can do is see if I can get everybody at the table and get an agreement. And I think we're going to end up with an agreement. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably be even here today.
Mr. President, I've got two questions for you. You think ultimately your legacy will be the peacemaker and not the president that led this country into another war and ended foreign wars? And I've got a question.
I hope
There,
it will.
guys,
I mean,
your
I hope
mission's
I'm gonna
complete.
be, remembered as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing if we could do this. I'm doing this to save lives more than anything else. Second is to save a lot of money, but I consider that to be far less important. So I hope I'm going to thank you, Brian, for that question. It was a nice question. I hope I'll be known and recognized as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing to solve. This is a very dangerous situation. You know, this could lead to a third world war. This was headed in the wrong direction. If this election were lost, if we didn't win this election, and by the way, we won it by a lot. That was a mandate. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. We won everything. The districts, you look at the areas of red, take a look at a map. This was a big mandate. And this was one of the things I said, we're going to get this thing settled. If we didn't win, I think this could have very well ended up in a third world war. And that would not.
I think it still will, frankly.
And my second question for President Zelensky: why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest. Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see people. Do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
Okay, hold on. People made a big deal out of this, and I'm sorry, but I don't give a crap who did wear a suit.
Yeah. I can understand both sides, but whatever.
I get the whole respect argument. He's in the U.S. He went to visit the president. It would be appropriate to wear a suit. I get it. But I think this is like an absolutely stupid, asinine question. So what?
I would have appreciated if he wore those heels that he wore in that commercial.
We've got a senator that wears a do-rag and another one that wears basketball shorts and hoodies. Are we really going to start critiquing fashion? I mean, my God. We've got, your Aunt Maxine wearing a muumuu half the time. Christ. Who cares?
Oh,
all right.
You got to hide the catheter bag somewhere.
Catheter bag? She hide the goddamn
under the muumuu.
She got a bucket of fried chicken. Don't even lie.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish. Okay. Yes, maybe something like yours. Yes, maybe something better. I don't know. Yeah. We will see. Maybe something cheaper. Thank you.
Thank you, President Trump. You said yesterday that you have.
Are you going to send more arms to Ukraine in case there's no peace?
Yeah, we're going to have arms to Ukraine. Yeah, sure. Hopefully, I won't have to send very much because hopefully we're going to have it finished. We're looking forward to finishing this quickly. We're not looking forward to sending a lot of arms. We're looking forward to getting the war finished so we can do other things. But we very much appreciate the agreement because we needed what they had, and we're treating, our country is now treated fairly. Biden didn't do that. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. This should have never.
No, your mom's siphoning my internet.
But sure, the answer is yes. But hopefully, we won't have to send much because I'm looking forward to getting it done quickly, very quickly.
Does that mean you'll provide security guarantees, Mr. President?
I don't want to talk about security yet because I want to get the deal done. You know, you fall into the same trap like everybody else. A million times you said over and over. I want to get the deal done. Security is so easy. That's about 2% of the problem. I'm not worried about security. I'm worried about getting the deal done. The security is the easy part. Security is very nice. Everybody stopped shooting. And now will Europe put people there? I know France is going to. I know the UK is going to. I know other countries are going to, and they happen to be right next door. We haven't committed, but we can
Our
conceive
chat.
of, you know, we have
They're
security
over
in a
here
different
trying to
form. We'll have
coordinate.
workers there
Compose correctly.
digging, taking the raw earth so that we can create a lot of great product in this country. So in that sense, you have something, but we haven't determined that yet. I will say, in speaking to France and in speaking to, and they were here, as you know, last week and just the other day, they have committed to a lot of security. I don't think you're going to need much security. I think once this deal gets done, it's over. Russia's not going to want to go back, and nobody's going to want to go back. When this deal ends, I really believe this deal is going to be over. Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Mr. President, thank you. You had President Macron and Keir Starmer at the White House this past week, both of whom praised your courage and conviction to lead the pathway towards peace.
Yes.
Part of that involved, though, re-engaging Russia in diplomatic relations, something that previous leaders lacked the conviction to do so. What gave you the moral courage and
Oh,
conviction to
look,
step forward and
we made a
Well, I love
friend.
this guy. Who are you with? Well, that's why I like him. One American News does a great job. I like the question. I think it's a very good question. It's a pathway to peace. It's a pathway to getting something solved. And I feel that as the head of this country, I have an obligation to do that. Plus, you know, we're very much involved. We got involved. It's too bad we got involved because there should have been no involvement because there should have been no war. And there shouldn't have been October 7th. That would have never happened. As you know, Iran was broke. They had no money to give to Hezbollah. They had no money to give to Hamas. They were stone cold broke. And then under Biden, they became rich as hell. They went from no money to $300 billion in a period of 4 years. And they gave a lot of that money away. And you see what happened. And that's a real mess also that we hope to be able to solve. But no, I appreciate your question very much. I feel I have an obligation to try and do something to stop the death.
If I can answer, yes, if I can answer,
Please,
sorry,
go ahead.
please.
And I do like your clothing, by the way.
Yeah, really?
Even though I think he's a great guy, by the way. But I don't know if you two like each other, but you know what? I think he's dressed.
I like this guy.
I think he's dressed beautiful.
So I have more serious things than answer on such
Yeah,
question.
sure, that's
I will
okay.
answer on more serious
That's a good
question
statement.
if I can. Yeah, so please, about security guarantees and about just ceasefire.
Here we go.
We can't just speak about ceasefire and speak and speak. It will not work. Just ceasefire will not never work because I'm like a president. I have this experience, and not only me. Ukraine before my presidency, from the 2014, Putin broken 25 times. 25 times he broken his own signature. 25 times he broken ceasefire.
But he never broke to me. He never broke.
No, you were the president. You were the president during.
No.
In 2016, you've been the president, Mr. President. You've been the president, but he had, of course, not with you, but he had during those periods, he had conversations with our side, and we had Normandy format. You know, the France, Germany, Ukraine, and Russia, and he broken 25 times. That's why we will never accept just ceasefire. It will not work without security guarantees. Security guarantees, maybe President is right about this document and other, but this document is not enough. Strong army is enough because his soldiers afraid, Putin's soldiers afraid of our soldiers when we're strong enough. If we are not strong enough, if we are empty, if our storage is empty, we can't defend our land. Today, you know, he knows that we have, all the world knows that we have meeting, yes? Why he's using ballistic? Putin today using ballistic on our hospitals, schools, and etc. Ballistic. So he knows that we are here and that President Trump is really have goodwill to stop this war. And you hear now the president. So why he's using? So he doesn't want to stop.
Okay, go ahead, boss.
But I hope that we will do it. Really, we'll do.
So this reinforces my argument. This is why we need the mineral deal to be able to help protect them, because then it gives us whether it just be the rights to the mineral in the ground or for us to go in and mine it ourselves, which we're not going to mine it ourselves. We're going to hire Ukrainians to do it, and it's going to flood their economy, hugely impact their economy. But that agreement gives us the ability where Putin won't back down and won't come to an agreement. Then we can put U.S. troops on the ground and go, hey, this is our investment. This is now our property. I shouldn't say it that way because some mental midget will take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I guess a better way to say it
it's
is
financial interest.
This is our partnership. I guess is a better way to say it. And, now if you keep this up, then we're going to have to fight you. And we don't want to do that. And I think these leaders like Putin and Iran and everything else have learned from the last presidency. Trump don't play that Obama line in the sand crap. Obama was famous for, I'm drawing a line in the sand. Well, I'm drawing it back here. Well, I'm drawing it over here now, and I'm drawing it over there. Never had a damn line in the sand. Where Trump, Trump's proven that. Well, who was it that he sent a picture of his house to him?
Oh, it was
one of the Al Qaeda or Taliban, whichever at the time. He literally sent him a picture of his house and said, FAFO. Let's play.
I know where you live.
I'm just saying, my drones can get this close. That's how close I can get with a missile.
Yep.
Yeah, he just wants to beat the crap out of Russia. He wants to destroy Russia, and he can't do it on his own. He hasn't been able to do any of this on his own.
I mean, what they're doing is increasing the supply of Russian and Ukrainian mail order brides.
I got married once. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah,
that's all you.
I'm in the same boat. No. I'm happy with how things are right now.
Absolutely right. Right there.
Dude, security, when we speak about security guarantees, when the Europeans are ready for contingents, they need USA backstop. If there will not be United States, we will not never have any contingents, strong contingents from the Europeans, because they don't want to divide alliance, connection between the United States and the main and strongest ally and Europeans. And this is crucial. This is important. That's what we want to speak about very much. This is very important. And air defense. So air defense, really, we have big deficit with all these systems, and we need to provide this. We need it very much. Otherwise, Putin will never stop and will go further and further. He doesn't want. He hates us. It's not about me. He hates Ukrainians. He thinks that we are not a nation. He thinks, and he shared these thoughts, I think maybe with your team also, I don't know. But with all the Europeans in media, officially and not, he always said that there is no such country, such nation, such language, and such life like Ukrainian. No, he really doesn't respect all the Ukrainians, and he wants to destroy us. And you are right, Mr. President. That's 2%. This document, maybe other documents, it's a very good start, very good, but it will not enough to stop this person.
Should Russia pay to rebuild Ukraine?
Mr. President, after these
Should Russia pay to rebuild Ukraine?
They have to pay. This is the rule. This is the rule of the war. This is the rule of the war.
No, it's not.
During all the centuries, all the history, this is the rule of the war. Who began those pay?
Nope.
This is
No, that's not. It's not how this works. You remember the old commercial with the little old lady putting the post-it notes on the wall? And she's like, oh, I'm going to post this. And her friends are like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
No.
I think about that every time I see this. Like, no. The one who starts it is hoping to win, and then they win.
Yeah. Then the loser pays reparations. That's one of the reasons World War II happened, is the reparations were so heavy from World War One on Germany, they had mass inflation and everything else.
God, this guy's such a mental midget.
Yeah.
All money for innovation he has to pay. Of course, some Russian assets what we have in Europe, about 300 billion, we can use them. We can use for innovation and buy military support from the United States also. We can do it, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
Do you envision a trilateral summit with
Because I want
Putin
to
and
know.
President Zelensky?
Wait, 1 second.
I asked this question that you didn't like because I wanted to know if you want to position yourself in the middle between Russia and
Yes.
Ukraine or on the Ukraine's.
No, I'm in the middle. I want to solve this thing. I'm for both. I want to get it solved. And it's wonderful to speak badly about somebody else, but I want to get it solved. If we can solve it, great. If we can't solve it, they're going to have to fight it out, and who knows what's going to happen. But I want to see it get solved.
May I follow up? One more question about U.S. troops in Europe. After Russian invasion of Ukraine, your predecessor sent additional troops to Eastern Europe, including Poland, my country. Are you committed to keeping these troops on the eastern flank of NATO in the future?
I'm very committed to Poland. I think Poland has really stepped up and done a great job for NATO. They, as you know, they paid more than they had to.
Yep.
They are one of the
Yep.
finest groups of people I've
That's
ever
awesome
known.
because Poland's
I'm
scared.
very committed to Poland.
What about Baltic?
They've
Oh,
got
yeah.
a good
Tough
reason to.
neighborhood, you know.
What about Baltic?
Well, that was the first country overran in World War One and World War Two.
Yeah, so they're like, yo, hey, here's a check. Could you send some U.S. fighters over here, please?
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, Russian troops cross into Poland, it's game over. And I
Yeah.
would agree with it being game over at that point because we have an obligation in that region.
Yeah, that is
Ukraine,
a NATO.
we have
NATO
no
country.
obligation to. Yeah. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't have an obligation to Ukraine. We've done way more than we should have. We've done far less for countries that we had a better reason to do something for, and let them
Yeah.
fight it out for decades.
Mm-hmm.
The Baltics, they got a lot of, it's a tough neighborhood too, but we're committed. We're going to be very committed, and we're committed to NATO. But NATO has to step up, and the Europeans have to step up more than they have. And I want to see them equalize because they are in for far less than we're in, and they should be at least equal. You understand that? Why is the United States, we have an ocean in between. Why is the United States in for so much more money and other things as Europe? With that being said, and as you said, they've also been obviously very helpful, but we have put in far more than they have. And I think they should equalize.
Mr. President,
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Ask you about the agreement again today. What changed between the first time that Secretary Bessent gave President Zelensky the agreement and today for the signing?
We made a deal. So
What was the
I'm just-
deciding factor?
I'm a business person. We made a deal. That's what changed.
Mr. President,
I didn't think we were going to make a deal, and we ended up making the deal, so that changed.
Mr. President, what and how do you envision a trilateral summit with President Zelensky and Putin?
I don't know,
under
but
these
well, they
circumstances?
don't like each other. I can tell you that. Okay? They do not like each other. It's not a love match, and it's unfortunate. That's why you're in this situation. The United States should not have allowed this to happen. Okay, the United States, run by a man that didn't know much. I'm going to be very nice. An incompetent person, very incompetent person, should never have allowed this to happen. I've stopped wars. I've stopped many wars. My people will tell you, I stopped wars that nobody ever heard about. I stopped wars before they ever started. You can look at some of, I could give you a lot of nations that would tell you right now they were probably going to war. I could tell you right now there's a nation thinking about going to war on something that nobody in this room has ever even heard about. Two smaller nations, but big, still big. And I think I've stopped it, but this should have never happened.
Sorry, just a second. about any negotiations. First of all, I want really to tell you, and I think that everybody understands that Ukraine, modern Ukrainians, nobody wants to stop this war. But at the future, any negotiations, it's understandable that two sides of the war, not Russia and the United States, because this is not the war between Russia and the United States. This is war of Russia against Ukraine and Ukrainian people. So these two sides will be at the anyway will be at the negotiation table. Then of course United States, like the strongest partner of the Ukraine, and of course Europe. I think Europe is very important. I want to speak about it with the president. Yes, Europe is very important for us because we really defend Europe for today. All Europeans really recognize that we are defending the line, and they have realized.
No, see, this is where his ego has gotten so inflated. Ukraine is not defending Europe because I have no doubt in my mind Russia will not go past Ukraine. Because if they go past Ukraine, they run into NATO, and that they won't do. And so it's so stupid to tell you we are defending. You know, you're not. You're trying to save your own ass, which is fine. You got every right to fight for your territory. But you know, as Kenny Rogers said, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. And Zelensky is still in that. I can keep fighting. He's that scrawny kid that keeps getting knocked to the ground and keeps getting back up again and ends up, you know, bloodied and beaten. It's too much. I'm over it.
Well, I mean, the kid that gets knocked down and keeps getting back up and going after it, you can have some admiration for.
Yeah.
This is just, this is not really that.
No. This is outmatched and using everybody else's
It's getting beat up, knocked down, dragged through the mud, and then going, "Hey, come take care of my problem for me."
Yeah. Like I can't win this, so I want everybody else to jump in and win it for me.
Yep. And I get a claim victory at the end.
Yeah. Oh, look at this great thing I did for the world. I beat Russia. No, you didn't.
And also, it's about the need. Yes, between, like the president said, you have big, nice ocean. Yes, between us. But if we will not stay, Russia will go further to Baltics and to Poland, by the way. But first to the Baltics. It's understandable for them because they've been in the USSR. You know, they've been one of the republics of the USSR, and Putin wants to bring them back to his empire. It's a fact. And when he will go there, if we will not stay, you will fight. Your American soldiers, it doesn't matter, do you have ocean or not? Your soldiers will fight.
Mr. President, would you be willing to visit Ukraine, maybe Kiev or Odessa, which is going to be a 30-year-old Black Sea?
It was my question.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about Odessa now. Let's not talk about Odessa. I want to talk about making a deal, getting peace. We don't have to talk about Odessa, but a lot of cities have been destroyed. A lot of cities that are not recognizable. There's not a building standing.
No.
And a lot of things
Mr. President, you have to come and to look. No. We have very good cities. Yes, a lot of things been destroyed, but mostly cities alive and people work and children go to school. Sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes closer to front line, children have to go to underground schools or online, but we live. Ukraine is fighting and Ukraine lives. This is very important. And maybe it's Putin is sharing this information that he destroyed us. No, he lost 700,000 people, 700,000 soldiers. He lost everything. Yes. So,
Mr. President, one more. I mentioned Poland.
Please, go ahead.
When did you last speak with President Putin? And what did he say that?
A couple of days ago.
And what did he tell you that gave you the assurance that he wanted peace?
Well, that's what I do. My whole life is deals. I know pretty good. And I've known him for a long time. I've dealt with him for a long time. He had to suffer through the Russia hoax. You know, Russia was a hoax. It was all Biden. It was nothing to do with him. So he had to suffer through that, and he was able to do that. I think that he wants to make a deal, and he'd like to see it end. That's all I do. That's what I do. My whole life, that's what I do is make deals. And I'm in the middle of a mess because this is a real mess. It's a very dangerous one. If this doesn't get solved now, it's not going to get solved for a long time. So I hope we're going to get it solved. In the back, please.
Mr. President, Prime Minister Starmer claimed repeatedly that his government believes in free speech and was not engaged in censorship. But his country's government arrests people for memes and thought crimes, and even more worrisome is pressuring American companies to censor Americans on his behalf. How can he be a reliable, trustworthy partner when he says things that are demonstrably false on such an important topic?
Well, we actually spoke to him about that yesterday, and we thought they took it very, very much too far. JD was very strong on it. So was I. So was Marco. And we've been speaking to him about it. Marco, would you like to say something about that?
We have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of those, particularly as it impacts Americans. And there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of British or any country's jurisdiction. And so this is a point the Vice President made of Munich, and I think it's a very compelling one that what unites us with Europe, as much as anything else, is these shared values, and one of them being free speech. And so Americans
yeah, because you know what? Think about it. Right now, under those free speech laws that they're doing over there, if their citizens don't agree with the Ukraine war, they can't go online and talk about it. They can't oppose it because then they could get raided in the middle of the night and put in jail.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, over in America, the left called Trump everything in the book, including, that funny mustache man in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I don't want to say that word. We say everything else that you two get mad at us.
We do.
It's literally all over the screen.
Oh, jeez. And just so everybody knows with the leg issues and that we've been having, the picture is a little bit better on Rumble than YouTube. And we are upgrading internet connections, and they should be in effect by next weekend. Should be.
I liked it better when Johnny Come Lately said it was a problem, and I told him it was because his mom was siphoning my internet. And really, it's Maddie B's fault anyway.
Yeah.
It's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday. And I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind, even if we in this room disagree with them. They have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days. And we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously if we have to. I do think that under the president's leadership, we're going to find common ground with our friends in the UK on
this being a Marine myself, I see so many mannerisms. I see so. I don't know. How
Farrell? Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I just banned Farrell by accident. How do we unban Farrell? She's gonna kill me. I'm gonna die now.
I see so many Marine mannerisms in Vance. It's not even funny.
Principle that will guide us is we believe in free speech in this country and we'll fight for it for American citizens.
Mr. President, on the deal, is there any other oil and gas component to the deal? Is it all critical?
A little bit. We'll see.
On LNG?
But we're not really looking for that so much. We got a lot. We have more than anybody in the world by far.
Yeah, T-Rex, just because you filed for the annulment.
I think it affects also. For the most part, no.
And sir, is there any?
No, it says there's nobody banned.
Ukraine to purchase U.S. LNG as part of the deal, or is
No.
that on the table at all?
No, we don't need that.
Mr. President, I just wanted to ask you about, you just mentioned that you guys spoken to Vladimir Putin a couple of days ago. Just to be clear, that's a new call, not the one that you...
I've spoken to him on numerous occasions.
how was the latest call? What did you discuss? How did it go?
Are you serious with that question?
I am, I'd love to know.
It went well. I think we're going to have a deal.
On the minerals deal, Mr. President, some of those minerals are in the east of Ukraine, not far from the front lines and in areas that Russia has occupied. Will you direct President Putin to withdraw his forces from those areas if there's U.S. interest?
Well, we'll take a look at the time. We have a lot of area. It's a very big area we're talking about. So we'll take a look. I'll study that and I'll see.
And who would protect those minerals if they are U.S. interests? Would that be Ukrainian
They'll be
forces?
protected. The
European
agreement
forces,
will protect them.
U.S.
The
forces?
agreement, yeah, we're signing an agreement. You know?
Right, but what if Russia tries to invade or there's Russian aggression in those spots?
I just told you, I don't think that's going to happen. And if that were going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal. If I thought that was going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal.
Some people may wonder
You know,
why.
they ought to focus on CNN on survival, not asking me these ridiculous
Why
questions.
the confidence that you won't
Focus on surviving because CNN's got such low ratings. I don't think they're going to survive. Let's go. Please, go ahead.
Since I already mentioned Poland. Poland was under Russian control for decades after the Second World War. When I was a kid, I looked at the United States not only as a most powerful country, richest country in the world, the country that has great music, great movies, great muscle cars, but also as a force for good. And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I would respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin. And then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God
Looks
bless,
like we lost
now
whiskey.
President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and
2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly
but-
right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broke this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong-
with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come to the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for
Have you
trying to
ever
bring an
been-
end to this
Have you
conflict.
ever been to Ukraine that you say the
Tell him.
problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have
And do you think that it's
I will
respectful
answer.
to come to the Oval Office
I
of the
will
United
answer.
States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God
You don't-
bless.
you don't know.
God bless you.
Oh,
God bless.
that was
you
the
will not be
wrong
at war.
thing to
Don't tell us
say.
what we're gonna feel. We're trying to solve a problem.
You have a
Don't tell
nice
us what
ocean.
we're
Now
gonna
you
feel.
don't
I'm
spell
not
it, but
telling
someday
you.
you
You're in
will.
no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what
Remember
you're
this.
doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're gonna feel.
You
We're
will-
gonna feel very
you will
good.
feel influence.
We're gonna feel
I'm-
very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not
Influence. What? Huh? That don't make no sense.
No.
in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I
You
was
don't have
saying
the cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you
I'm
don't,
very
you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives of
anymore.
millions of people.
You think
Notice
You're
how. Go
gambling
ahead,
with
pause it.
World War III.
What was that?
Everyone wants to say that, oh, Trump and Vance started yelling over him. No, it was Zelensky
No,
that
he was.
started talking over everybody else
Yeah.
because he didn't like what he got told. He didn't like they pointed
Yep.
out that he's having to conscript his people. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. He is a dictator.
Yeah.
And
He is.
but the media, even legacy, right-wing legacy media, isn't telling the truth on this. They're not pointing out that he stopped the elections. They're not pointing out, that he's bought up the TV stations or canceled TV stations. He's
Outlawed rival political parties.
yeah.
I mean that.
He's become what he's fighting against.
Yeah.
And that's why
Yeah.
these two, and Putin's bullheaded as bullhead again. I mean, there ain't no doubt. Putin's a dictator. You can't call him anything but. I mean, my God, everybody who's ever run against Putin is either dead or in prison.
Well, and
But
I mean, one person that's been in there between his terms was a puppet.
Yeah.
Because that's how
Yeah.
their constitution was written. You can only serve so many decades, and then someone else has to step in for so many decades. And then you can actually run again, unlike here in the US where you can only get 2 terms.
But Maddie, Putin ain't going nowhere. They can't get him out of office. They've tried for God knows how long.
Yeah.
He's still young enough and healthy enough. I mean, it's just this was a shit show here at the end.
Yeah. This is where all the clips come from. So
Three. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting, have
today.
you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can
not speaking loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly. Your country's
Can I-
in big
can-
trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No.
Can
You've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn
We-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks.
You haven't been.
yeah. Trump's saying what I just came in my thought. They haven't been alone.
No.
I mean, they emptied out their armory in the first week, and they had nothing, and everything else has been everybody else supporting them since.
Yep. Obama sent sheets, Trump sent javelins.
We gave you, through
Yep.
this stupid president, $350 billion.
You
We
voted
gave
for
you
your
military equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's gonna be a very hard thing to do business like this, I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of times,
Accept that
thank
there,
you
accept
to
that-
American people.
accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know
Yep.
that you're wrong.
But you see, I think.
And
it's
that's
good
what this
for the
was.
American
This was
people
him trying to use the media to his advantage.
Yeah.
He wanted to try and corner Trump and, oh, poor me, poor me, poor me. Give me more money, give me more missiles.
Well, and
We
he could
could
have
give
bowled
him
over
5.
Biden, and
We
he thought
could
he
give
could do
him
it
a.
to Trump.
Yeah, well, Biden didn't
Yeah.
even know what was going on. Fuck. That man heard a dinner bell and goes, oh, goody, I get to snip a child and have some ice cream.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't
you're
please,
running
Mr.
low
President.
on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And
Mr.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it. So the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're
I
saying
said-
you don't want a
But I
ceasefire.
said to you.
I want a
With
ceasefire.
guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter for
me.
you what-
That
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was
wasn't
with
with you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your-
with, that was with, excuse me, that was with Obama, who gave you sheets and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to this Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you
but
saying?
what
She's
if
asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that.
You ought to
He
be
did
in
go
jail.
through it. We didn't end up in a war.
Yep.
And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if he
And
can
see,
make a deal.
this
The
here
problem is
one of those things
I've
we were
empowered
talking about
him to do
earlier, that Obama had the line in the sand that moved so many damn times it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Biden would make threats all the time and never follow through on them. Well, a couple of them he did, but very rarely. When Trump was in office, Trump said, hey, do this, I'll do this. And he did it every single time.
Yeah.
So
You're only as good as your word.
Yeah, and I do believe that if he says to Putin, all right, we own part of this now, or we have rights to part of this now, this ends now, they can come to an agreement that it ends. Now, is it going to result in Ukraine losing some other land? Yes, absolutely. I have no doubt in my mind. But, I have a feeling that Trump's proven himself on the world stage where if I say this is where the line is, you better believe that's where the line is.
Yep.
And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right. We'll see what we can do about putting it together. Thanks, sir. We'll see. I don't.
So
No,
that
it's not Farrell.
Oh, damn it. How do I do that again? He was a petulant child.
Yeah.
He really was. And he made it clear that he doesn't want peace. He wants retaliation. He wants to see Putin, be back in place. And I get it. I understand it. He's invaded your country. You were promised all these things in the past. And frankly, in a way, we did let him down because we didn't protect him the way we said we would, when they denuclearized. But that was before Trump. Now we're in this situation. Now we got to handle it a different way. And I think resetting the clock and making this deal where we can have, some claim. Well, I guess I'm going to have to time her out. She's using foul language in chat. We don't use fucking foul language on this fucking channel. What the fuck's wrong with you?
No.
Goes through. Now, on to the next piece of this. Lindsey Graham, who I have times that I agree with Lindsey. I have times that I just think, man, you rhino and a half piece of crap. Trash dog. He has been a huge supporter of Zelensky. He's been over there 14 times, somewhere around that. He's the reason, a big part of the reason why Zelensky's gotten all the money he has. And a lot of people don't realize, and I had to dig this up this week. It was $1.75 billion that was awarded, that has been given to Ukraine. And then USAID, without congressional approval, was giving another $1 billion. So it's.
I thought they got like 120 billion, and that was before USAID. That might be the whole thing.
Yeah, well, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But USAID's been giving them money left and freaking right. So, and plus he likes to make this claim, and he made it in tweets. Oh, Ukraine never saw even a half that money, because a lot of that went directly to U.S. manufacturers who are making armaments and sending them bullets and missiles and everything else.
Yep.
Because he just wanted that handed to him too. So, you watch the same streams I do. I think it is coming to an end. I think those judges have finally figured out they overplayed their hands. So we've got Lindsey Graham doing a press conference afterwards, and this shocked me. You ready? Look at that. He's getting better.
Isn't there a story about him and ladybugs?
Not that I know of.
We'll talk later.
Oh no.
So, what do I think? Complete, utter disaster. I've been
to say the least.
9 times since the war started. I understand the consequences of Putin's actions against Ukraine. I appreciate what the Ukrainian people have done. They fought like tigers. At the end of the day, I was hoping that this minerals deal, which would be transformative in the relationship, would go over well. I talked to Zelensky this morning. Don't take the bait. President Trump was in a very good mood last night. Somebody asked me, am I embarrassed about Trump?
It
I have
doesn't matter,
never been
man.
more
You know, you
proud
got
of him.
that flavor upgrade
I was
tomorrow. I'm
very
picking up a new
proud
hotspot
that he
tomorrow.
went.
Hopefully, we finally
Next
get this
up for
fixed.
we want
Yeah,
peace healthy.
I'm seeing
What I
huge
saw in the Oval
differences
Office was
between Rumble
disrespectful,
and
and
YouTube.
I
It's
don't know
still
if we
both
could ever
bad,
do
but
business with Zelensky again. I don't. I think most Americans saw a guy that they would not want to go in business with. The way he handled the meeting, the way he confronted the president was just over the top. So I think the relationship between Ukraine and America is important, vitally important. But can Zelensky do a deal with the United States? After what I saw, I don't know.
What would he need to do, sir? Good question. Senator Graham.
You just had lunch with President Trump. What did he say to you about his interactions and whether he thinks
He was shocked. He was very upbeat. I told Zelensky, we'll talk about security guarantees. We'll talk about ceasefires and how the war ends. This is a process. You have a new relationship with America, a $500 billion, $500 billion deal that President Trump is proud of, that gives us an interest worth defending. Let's talk about the positive. But he was terrible at Munich, Zelensky, and I think he has made it almost impossible to sell to the American people that he's a good investment, that he is a good business partner.
Last question. Senator Graham. Senator, a number of European. Hey, one at a time. One at a time. Christian Daytop.
Senator Graham, thank you. Do you think President Zelensky needs to resign to resume these peace talks?
He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change.
Do you,
So yeah, even Lindsey Graham was upset. That surprised me. I kind of thought Lindsey Graham, because Lindsey Graham has spoken out against Trump numerous times. I
Yes.
thought Lindsey Graham was going to come out. Oh, they beat up on Zelensky, poor Zelensky, blah 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 blah, but didn't. Of course, I immediately got hit by several people of, well, Lindsey Graham's just a kiss ass, always has been to Trump, and I'm like, what?
no, he has.
No, he hasn't. But that's that. What else you got for us? You got a palate cleanser? Or you got something else to add? Oh, God. I should
You want to call it that? Well, remember the Lyft gal?
Oh, no. This two-ton. What about Miss?
Yeah, apparently she has an OnlyFans.
No, I did not find it.
Two booty shorty. Two booty shorty.
Oh, no.
Hey.
God.
And apparently Walmart's getting ahead of the Lyft type lawsuits. And
It isn't as bad as the video you watched last.
And they're developing a crane to get people into their scooters.
Oh, no. No. Still not as bad as the Catholic video from last week. How we did
Oh,
get
we
in trouble
forgot
for
we were going to
YouTube
go over
that one.
Mormons this week, weren't we?
Oh, God.
Oh, well.
Oh, Lord. So, Beers is getting new internet tomorrow. I'm getting an upgrade on internet tomorrow. Hopefully next week we can get this choppiness figured out. Because we have
Yeah.
literally tried everything. We've downloaded. We've done everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
StreamYard hates us. Multiple different internets. I'm telling
Yeah.
you. I think it's because we make fun of Sean and his sandwich truck.
Yeah.
Where's the sandwich truck? There it is.
Yep.
Sean's grandma. You know, it's just because he's got to put the fries in the bag.
Yep.
I need to finish that video. I've been working up for that.
Yeah. That's going to be good. Sean's going to
Oh, I
realize
can't
actually
wait.
how annoying that is.
Probably not. Oh, Zero Max is here. I've got one with him too. Not going to though, because I got in a lot of trouble for showing Zero Max's picture last week. He got really mad at me. And he's Greek, so it's hard to tell when he's mad or just normal.
Animated.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's right, Natasha. Friday is the first court hearing for Ramsey Khalid Ishmael.
Also
Johnny
known as
Somali.
Johnny Somali.
Yeah. Won't be a big deal, but it's a start. Can't wait for him to go work the lettuce farms.
Cabbage farms. It's cabbage.
Cabbage, yeah, cabbage. So,
you know,
Don't
gotta have the
don't-
cabbage for the kimchi.
Jessica says, please show that picture of Zero Max because he's my sweetie. Well, okay. Where is it? There it is. Right about now, he's yelling my name in Greek. So, I don't know what we got going
What's
on.
that
next
word
week
he
yet.
always uses? Mafaka?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Get this here. We are Assholes React. You can catch us on Twitter at Assholes React. We need to get better about using the Twitter. You can email us hate mail, questions, comments,
Malacca.
suggestions.
That's right. It's Malacca.
Malacca. You can email us with questions, comments, hate mail. We'd love some hate mail.
Yeah. We can make a whole show out of hate mail. I mean,
Good.
that would be a good
A-holes
show.
React to Gmail. We're on Rumble. We're on YouTube. We also stream on Twitter all at the same time. That's probably why shit don't work right. Oh.
I didn't
So,
even look and see how it looked on Twitter.
I didn't either. I see it live on Twitter. That's about it. And that's it, everybody. So we're pretty opinionated about the whole Zelensky thing. Now they did say that they have cut off all funds to Ukraine. So we'll see how true they hold to that.
Yep.
But
I'm sure there's some organization they're funneling it through. Probably something
I'm
with a
sure.
black budget.
No, they wouldn't do that. Not our government. Stop.
No, not at all.
Can't believe you say such things. But with that, I'm Whiskey.
And I'm the three
The ugly
bears.
one is beers. We'll see you all next Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, for another shit show, for number 19 of the shit shows.
Yep.
Maybe number 20, we should get Jessica up here.
Oh.
Yeah. Our elf in the show. We do need to give some thanks to people. The music you hear in the intro and outro video was made by Zero Mask, good friend of ours. Villehammer Media made the actual video for the intro and outro. Really appreciate that. We have our super mod, Jess, also known as our elf, who will permanently stay on the shelf. Appreciate her. With that, hey, fuck y'all. We're assholes. We're out.
Oh, there she is. There she is. Why did she make that look hot? All right,
The follow is mine. Sip the truth, we take it higher. Watch the pins, we tear them apart. You step out of line, we hit you hard. I think they run the show. Put your power where they shouldn't go. We pull them out, won't that you save. Respect the law, or dig your own grave. We like what we think, we speak the truth. Chase it down, we bring the proof. React, raw, no filter here. Beer and whiskey, we shift the gears. Chase the beer, chase the flame. We react, we bring the name.